So, good morning everyone. This is Ronaldin Vitor, and I am the first reporter in our group. So, our topic is all about intellectual revolution that defined society. The intellectual revolution pertains to the period of paradigm shifts or changes in the scientific beliefs that have been widely embraced and accepted by the people. The three revolutions that define the society are: first is ideas of non-intellectuals, second is information revolution, and third is credos of early science. So let's tackle about ideas of non-intellectuals. Let's proceed. Ideas of non-intellectuals, Copernican revolution. In the 6th century, Ptolemy introduced the geocentric model where it showed that the Earth is the center of the universe, which was thought to be true by most of the people at that time. Then second is Nicholas Copernicus. Copernicus is an astronomer who contradicts the geocentric model and proposed the heliocentric theory, where planets revolve around the sun. So the change from the belief of geocentric to heliocentric happened through the contribution of other important persons such as Brahe's observation of the star Cassiopeia, that Kepler stated that the planets move in the elliptical orbits and the sun at the center, and Galileo Galilei developed telescope and observed Venus. So last is Isaac Newton's law of gravitation, and the Copernican revolution influences conceptual changes in cosmology, religion, physics, and philosophy. Let's proceed to Darwinian Revolution, United Kingdom, Charles Darwin formulated his book on the origin of species in 1859 that presented evidence on how species evolve over time and the descent of man. That introduced the idea of all organic life under the realm of revolutionary thinking. Darwin proposed the theory of evolution by natural selection, where organisms change over time as a result of changes in heritable physical or behavioral traits. The changes that first is allow an organism to better adapt to its environment, can help it survive and have more offspring. Then there are two main points in his theory. So let's tackle this. First is all life of Earth is connected and related to each other. And second is this diversity of life came about because of the modification in populations that were driven by natural selection, survival of the fittest. So let's tackle naman about Freudian revolution, Sigmund Freud. Freud founded psychoanalysis. He described that the brain can be segmented into compartments. He developed an observational method to study humans, and our life mainly focuses on human sexuality and evil nature of man. The Freudian revolution greatly affected or gave rise to the literature, visual arts, and music. So that's all, and thank you.
Hello everyone, my topic is about the revolution that defined society. The cradles of early science. Development of science in Mesoamerica. The Mesoamerica consists of four cultures, namely Olmec, Maya, Inca, and Aztec. Development of science in Mesoamerica. It includes the entire area of Central America from southern Mexico up to the border of South America. Maya civilization lasted for approximately 200 years. They incorporated their advanced understanding of astronomy into their temples and other religious structures. Example: the El Castillo Pyramid at Chichen Itza is situated at the location of the sun during the spring and the fall equinoxes. Development of science in Mesoamerica. Mayan knowledge understanding about celestial bodies was advanced for their times, predicting eclipse using astrological cycles in planting and harvesting. The Olmec civilization, the mysterious Olmec civilization, located in ancient Mexico, prospered in classical formative Mesoamerica from 1200 BCE to 400 BCE and is generally considered the forerunner of all subsequent Mesoamerica cultures, including the Maya and Aztec. Monumental sacred complexes, massive stone sculptures, ball games, the drinking of chocolate, and animal gods. The Mayan calendar. Mayan is known for measuring time using two complicated calendar system, the Zok and Anhab. Mayan calendar system is useful for their life, especially in planning activities and observing religious rituals and cultural celebration. The Dzogchen calendar combines 20-day names with the 13-day numbers to produce 260 unique days. It is used to determine the time of religious and ceremonial events and for divination. Each successive day is numbered from 1 to 13 and then starting again at 1. Separately for this, every day is given a name in sequence for a list of 20-day names. The hub was made up of 18 months of 20 days, each plus a period of 5 days at the end of the year known as Wayib. Development of science in Mesoamerica, Mayan civilization. Mayan also developed technology for growing different crops and building elaborate cities using ordinary machineries and tools. Mayan built looms for weaving cloth, devised rainbow of glitter paints made from mineral called mica. Mayan hieroglyphics is writing system of Mayan. Mayan are considered one of the most scientifically advanced societies in Mesoamerica. They are skilled in mathematics, created number system based on numerical 20, development the concept of zero and positional value before Roman did. So, the Mayan hieroglyphs. Next is Inca civilization. The Inca civilization is also famous in Mesoamerica. The following were scientific ideas and tools that they developed to help them in every life. Roads paved with stones, stone building that surmounted earthquakes and other disasters, irrigation system and technique for storing water for their crops to grow in all types of land. Calendar with 12 months to mark their religious festivals and prepare them for planting season. The first suspension bridge, Kipo, a system of noted ropes to keep records that only experts can interpret. Inca textile scenes cloth was one of the especially prized artistic achievements. Incan religious beliefs. Polytheists worship many gods of nature. Ente, or the sun god, was the most important god and last had religious festivals to honor God. Aztec civilization. The Aztecs were an advanced and prosperous civilization who built beautiful and sophisticated cities. The highly developed empire had an elaborate leadership and society that consisted of four classes. Nobles means highest in power. Commoners, the majority of population were mostly farmers, serfs, work land for the nobles, slaves consisted of those captured and indebted who couldn't pay. The Aztec civilization has also made substantial contribution to science and technology and the society as a whole. Some of contribution are the following: mandatory education, chocolates, antispasmodic medication, chinampa, Aztec calendar, and invention of canoe. Mandatory education, their children are mandated to get education regardless of their social class, gender, or age. It is an early form of universal or inclusive education. Chocolates. The Aztec in Mexico developed chocolate during their time. The Aztec valued the cacao beans highly and made them as part of their tribute to their gods. Antispasmodic medication. They use a type of antispasmodic medication that could prevent muscle spasm and relax muscles, which could help in during surgery. Chinampa. It is a form of Aztec technology for agricultural farming in which the land was divided into rectangular areas and surrounded by canals. Next is Aztec calendar. This enabled them to plan their activities, rituals, and planting season. And last, invention of canoe. A light narrow boat used for traveling in water system. Aztec intellectual and artistic achievements calendar. 365-day calendar and a 260-day ritual calendar calculates the end of the world as a December 21, 2021. Development of science in Asia, India and China. India is the biggest continent in the world, considered as the home of many ancient civilizations, the host of many cultural, economic, scientific, and political activities of all ages. Development of science in Asia, India. A huge peninsula surrounded by vast bodies of water and fortified by huge mountains in its northern borders, known for manufacturing of iron and in metallurgical works, famous in medicine or Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a system of traditional medicine that originated in ancient India before 2500 BC. Susrata Samhita, a spherical self-supporting earth, year of 360 days with 12 equal parts of 30 days each. Siddhanta Shiromani, his interest in astronomy was evident in this book. Indus Valley Civilization. The people in this civilization tried to standardize measurement of length to a highest degree of accuracy at a designed roller, Mohenjo-daro roller. Aryabhatiya is introduced a number of trigonometric functions, tables, and techniques as well as algorithms of algebra. Aryabhata is the first of the major mathematician astronomers from the classical age of Indian mathematics and Indian astronomy. Solar and lunar eclipses were scientifically explained. Aryabhata, he states that the moon and planets shine by reflected sunlight. Brahmagupta, Brahmasputasiddhanta. Brahmagupta defined the properties of the number zero both as a placeholder and a decimal digit. Suggested that gravity was a force of attraction. Development of science in Asia, China. Traditional medicine, acupuncture, compass papermaking, gunpowder, printing tools, astronomy, heavenly bodies, and lunar calendars. Chinese civilization is also known for invention of iron plough, wheelbarrow, and propeller, designed for different models of bridges. invented the first seismological detector, and developed of a dry dock facility.
Middle East countries. The lands around the southern and eastern shores of the Mediterranean Sea, encompassing the Arabian Peninsula and, by some definitions, Iran, North Africa, and beyond. So, our topic is all about the development of science in the Middle East countries. The Middle East countries dominantly occupied by Muslims. With the spread of Islam in the 7th and 8th centuries, a period of Muslim scholarship, or what is called the Golden Age of Islam, lasted until the 13th century. So the Islamic Golden Age refers to the period in the history of Islam. Muslim scientists placed greater value in science experiments rather than plain thought experiments. So they have a greater value on science experiments rather than plain thought experiments, where the plain thought experiments is experiments that are basically devices of the imagination only. A Muslim scientist named Ibn al-Haytham is also regarded as the father of optics, especially for his empirical proof of the intermission intermission theory of light. Mathematician Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi gave his name to the concept of the algorithm, while the term algebra is derived from the word al-jabr. Muslim mathematicians did make several refinements to the number of systems, such as the introduction of decimal point notation. So, what is decimal point notation? It is a representation of a fraction or other real number using the base 10 and consisting of any of the digits such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a decimal point. Al-Jabr ibn Hayyan is also the father of chemistry according to Derwenda 2007 and Warren 2005. Ibn Sena. It is pioneered the science. He pioneered the science of experimental medicine and was the first physician to conduct clinical trials according to Jack Ward 2008. And Ibn Sina has most have two most notable works in medicines. These are the Book of Healing and the Canon of Medicine. The next topic is all about the development of science in Africa. Africa is blessed with natural and mineral resources, and it is true that they they are rich of natural and mineral resources. And science also emerged in this part of the planet long before the Europeans colonized it. Astronomy was also famous in the African region. Documents show that Africans used three types of calendar: the lunar calendar, or a calendar based on the monthly cycles of the moon phases; the solar calendar, or the calendar whose dates indicate the season of almost equivalently the apparent position of the sun relative to the stars. Lastly, the stellar calendar, or the stellar calendar year has 364 days with an extra day every 72 years, or what we call the leap years, and the second extra day every 90 leap years, or what we call the great quarters. North Africa and the Nile Valley imported iron technology from the Near East region that enabled them to benefit from the developments during the Bronze Age until the Iron Age. The ancient Egyptian civilization has contributed immensely and made significant advances in the field of astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. Example, for example, they are good in four fundamental mathematical operations and other mathematical skills. So, in elementary, we discussed the four mathematical operations. These are the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and other mathematical skills. Algebra and geometry. The rules of geometry were developed and used to build rectilinear structures. Rectilinear structures, or rectilinear shapes, are made of lines are made of lines, or the square and the rectangle is both the rectilinear shapes. The post of lentil architecture of Egypt. The great structures of the Egyptian pyramids and the early dams built to divert water from the Nile River are some proofs of their advanced civilization. Egypt was known to be a center of alchemy, which is known as the medieval forerunner of chemistry. And lastly, they tried to study human anatomy and pharmacology and applied important components such as examination, diagnosis, treatment, and prognosis for treatment of diseases. So that's all for my topic, and thank you for listening.